Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are already picking a June TBR. I know it's boring to say, but I cannot believe it's almost June already. I thought I'd go through my May TBR first and see how I did. So let's just go through the prompts one by one. My first prompt was to read a book that was classified as hopeful on the story graph, and for that I picked Loveless by Alice Oseman, and I have read that one. The next prompt was to combine two different prompts, and that was a book from Europe with a building on the cover, and for that I picked Summerwater by Sarah Moss, which I didn't read. The third prompt was a book that was classified as tense on the story graph, and for that I picked Weerlicht by Jante, Wortel, which I have also read. Prompt number 4 was a book buying prompt. I have ordered my books for the book buying prompts, but they have not arrived yet. But prompt number 4 was to buy a book with POC representation, and for that I ordered All About Love by Bell Hooks. Prompt number 5 was to read a book that was published between 1946 and 1985, and I picked East of Eden for that, which I have started because we're doing a read-along, and I'm right on schedule, so that means I'm about halfway through right now. Prompt number 6 was to use a random color generator, and I picked The Adventures of Gina Iron for that, which I also did not read, unfortunately. Prompt number 7 was a slow-paced book, and for that I have read Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. Prompt number 8 was a return to author, and I picked The Namesake for that by Jhumpa Lahiri. I haven't finished this as I'm filming this, but I'll finish it by the end of the month. Prompt number 9 was short stories, and I picked Skinship and also didn't read that one. And then prompt number 10 was to buy a book in translation, and I ordered 2 books for them. I can't remember the titles exactly right now, but one was a short story collection from Morocco, and the other one was a novel by a Algerian French author. I'll put them up on the screen so you can see which ones I ordered. So yeah, that was my May TBR. I think I did pretty well. I haven't read all of the books on my TBR, but I did manage to read some of the chunkier ones, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So now on to June. I am participating in the Booktube Prize again, or at least I'm hoping I will be selected as a judge for June, so that might change the reading plans I'm making today, but we'll see. I will also be participating in the Ancient Wonder-athon, which is hosted by Lizzie of Lizzie's Literary Life. I'll link her down below and her announcement video as well. It is a readathon that is running from the 3rd to the 18th of June, and it's a very complicated readathon with themes and points and challenges and all that, so I'm not gonna explain it here. I'll just refer you to the video. And because there are so many elements to that readathon, I'm not gonna like pick my TBR on it. I'm just gonna pick my TBR as I usually do, and then see how the books will fit into the readathon. Yeah, so but that's what's happening in June as well. Yeah, I think that's enough of the preamble, so let's get into the first roll. Okay, here we go. I filled up my cup with prompts again and shuffled them, and we landed on number 45 last time. So roll number 1 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is a book with an animal on the cover. Okay, roll number 1 was a book with an animal on the cover, and for that I will be reading Mouthful of Birds by Samantha Schweblin, which is a short story collection. Samantha Schweblin is an Argentinian author, and this book is translated by Megan McDowell. I believe these stories are sort of in a dark, weird category, which I really like in short stories. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Rule number 2. 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Travel, so a book about travel in some way. Prompt number 2 was travel, so a book that is about travel in some way. And I picked This Must Be the Place by Maggie O'Farrell. The cover made me think it had something to do with travel because it has like maps and I don't know, like stems and things on the cover, and then on the blurb it says, "This must be the place crosses continents and time zones, creating a portrait of an extraordinary marriage, the forces that hold it together and pressures that drive it apart." So yeah, I don't know in what capacity, but I do believe it has some aspect of travel in there somewhere. Rule number 3 is 3. 1, 2, 3. A book from Africa. Prompt number 3 was a book from Africa, and for that I will be reading Black Lion Alive in the Wilderness by Sicelo Mbatha, and this is a memoir, about the author who works as a wilderness guide in South Africa, and I believe he talks about his work and sort of his growing up and his connection to nature. So that sounds really interesting. Rule number 4 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A book that's been recently acquired. Prompt number 4 was the most recently acquired book. So I could probably pick one of the books that are on their way to me now. I expect them to arrive in a couple of days, so I could pick one of those. But right now my most recently acquired book is The House of Bread by Edith Wharton, or I have June by Philip Huff. I'm not sure if I said that right. Which is an ebook I got from my subscription from a Dutch indie publisher. So I could pick one of those as well, or I'm guessing if I have to acquire any books for the Booktube Prize, I could count those, so I have quite a few options for that one, and I'm gonna leave it open for now. Rule number 5 is 3. 1, 2, 3, and that brings us to the end of the game. Previously I never picked a prompt for these, but what I think I'll do from now on is when I finish the game I can pick a book buying prompt, and then the same with the roll again. I would just roll again and not pick a prompt, and then if I land on these I'll pick another reading prompt. So yeah, my book buying prompt for finishing the game is a shorty, so a short book. So roll number 5 landed me on the end of the board. So I always celebrate by sending a postcard to one of you. So if you are interested, leave me a message saying that you want to get a postcard. And I also decided to pick a book buying prompt when I finish. I used to never do that, but then I thought it'd be fun to have more prompts on my TBR. So yeah, the prompt was to buy a shorty book, so that will be right in time for Shorty September. I count short books as books under 200 pages, so I'm going to look for a book that works for that. Alright, we're going to start at the beginning again, and then roll number 6 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is another book buying prompt. And that is to continue a series. And then prompt number 6 was another book buying prompt, and that was to continue a series. I think I'll probably buy the next book in the Realm of the Elderling series by Rob and Hobb, since I've just finished Fool's Fate. And I like having the next book around so I can start it whenever I feel like it. I could also get the next book in the Wayfarer series by Becky Chambers, because I really loved The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet earlier this year. Roll number 7 is 2. 1, 2. Buzzwords Nature. Prompt number 7 was Buzzwords Nature. So for buzzwords, I look for words in the title that have a certain theme. So this time it was nature. And I picked Crow Lake by Mary Lawson. This is a family drama book set in a small town with like lots of nature writing, and it seems like exactly my kind of book. I know Mercedes of Mercy's Book is Musings has talked about this book last year and really enjoyed it, so I always trust her recommendations. Yes, I'm really hoping to get through this one as well. Roll number 8 is 1. And that is a one-word title. Prompt number 8 was a book with a one-word title. And I decided to go for Disoriental by Négar Djavadi. I have been wanting to read this book for a very long time. Flew under the radar a little bit, but then the people who have read it have all really loved it, so I'm hoping I will love it just as much. Roll number 9. So 1 again, another book buying prompt. A book for the Around the World challenge. Prompt number 9 was to buy a book from around the world. So I'm doing a sort of lifelong challenge where I want to read a book from every country of the world. So I'm going to pick a country that I haven't read from before. So any recommendations of books from different countries, especially countries that don't have that many books published in English or Dutch, are very welcome. And the last roll, roll number 10, is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is a book from my TBR tin. And then the last prompt was to pick a book from my TBR tin, which hasn't been used in quite a while, so I haven't really updated it lately. So yeah, this tin just has all my TBR books on them, so it's basically just a random pick. So let's see. Got them here. All right, we have The Adventures of China Iron, so a book that was on my previous TBR last month, so I'm pretty excited to have another chance to read this. There we have it. So here we are, the June TBR. I'm gonna have a look and see how this would work for the Ancient Wonders readathon. Obviously the House of Mirth is like a placeholder for a recently acquired book. I'm not sure if I will read that one, but we'll see how it goes. And then the books for the Booktube Prize will also be added to this stack. I really like this stack. I like that it has quite a bit of translated fiction in there. It has some non-fiction, short stories. So yeah, pretty pleased with this. So yeah, pretty pleased how this TBR turned out. If you have any comments or thoughts on the books I'm going to be reading, or if you are interested in doing a buddy read, please just let me know. And that's it for today. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.